Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 8 of What If Naruto was trained by all the greats at a young age. Remember to get this one to 300 likes as usual. Share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto traveled to Hashirama's time. And enjoy that guys over on Anime King 2. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be planning talking back to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, what is to begin this new episode? Start the intro. So, the last time we left off, Shino asked Sakura if he could talk to her. As he told her that Sasuke was just using her, he could see that, as he told her it's best that if she terminate her relationship with him now. But Sakura didn't believe him at all. Sasuke loved her, he didn't know what the hell he was talking about. As, first it was Kurnai, it was Ino, and now it was him. What the hell was wrong with these people? Couldn't they see that Sasuke and her love each other? As, the Chunin exam didn't begin. As Naruto and his group made their way up there, where they met Kabuto who gave them information. As they quickly ran through the first part of the test, as they went off towards the forest of death. As their instructions were given to them, and they were told what to do, and with that they all made their way inside. The sound team was going their own. Orochimaru gave them a job. Yes, their job was to go and eliminate as much Konoha Shinobis as possible. So that is what they were doing, killing them off. As Naruto and his group made their way, they quickly got a scroll. As they spy on Gaara and his group, and they saw Gaara crushing someone in the sand like it was nothing, as the other group then went off. Sasuke and the others were being attacked by the Stone group, as Shino took care of Zaku. Sasuke was being beaten down by Dosu as Sakura was about to be killed by Kin. But Lee came there and saved her, as he went to help Sasuke. But Sasuke acted all arrogant, saying that he could have done it by himself. Sakura gave Lee a kiss on his cheek to thank him for saving her life. As Sasuke was rather jealous, but he acted like he wasn't, as they made their way to the tower. For the remaining time they relaxed until it was finally time for the preliminaries, as the matches started. As Hinata faced off against Kankuro, he was no match for her as she severed the strings and quickly ended the battle. Sasuke acted arrogant with Temari, so she went all out from the beginning as she unrolled her fan to the 3 moons as she sent him sailing. He was sliced up by the winds as he collapsed to the floor, defeated with one blow. As Sakura wanted to go to check up on him, but Kurnai told her no. As Naruto faced off against Zaku, with superiority in speed, Naruto quickly ended the match like it was nothing, as Kiba defeated Dosu. As the rest of the matches went off, until it was Gaara facing off against Neji. As the battle started off first with Neji trying to break Gaara's hand, but no matter what he did, he couldn't penetrate it. As the battle was becoming one-sided, the proctor asked Neji if he wanted to give up, but he said no. Even Guy told Neji to give up after seeing the state that Gaara was smashing him around. Hinata cried out for him to stop as she told him to give up, even though he didn't really like her that much. He was still her cousin and she didn't want to see him die. As Hayate called the match, but Gaara had a wicked smirk on his face as he raised Neji in the air with the sand, as the entire sand consumed Neji's body, as Gaara clenched his fist tight. So yeah guys, so basically that's where we left off. You guys can switch across the place and check it out for yourself. So what do you say we begin this new episode? He hadn't thought that Gaara would actually do it, not until the very last second, to blatantly commit murder with over a dozen Leaf Ninjas watching, along with the Hokage. It was insane. He honestly thought Gaara would not do it. So Naruto watched everyone else as Neji's body started to get crushed. There was a green flash that struck the sand. As Neji was screaming, all the sand was blown away by the green flash. Then all hell broke loose. Neji Tenten says she launched herself in the air as she fired off a dozen kunais, everything aimed at Gaara's head. His sand rose up and blocked it as a stream of sand shot towards her. But Asuma jumped in the way and scattered away the sand. "You bastard," Naruto said as he pulled his katana and leaped off the rail. But a hand grabbed him. Naruto stopped, Kakashi yelled. "Let go of me," Naruto said. As Hinata was screaming for Neji and it made him angry at the sight. Just hearing her scream, Naruto calmed down, or the red chalk will appear. Just look. As Gaara was surrounded by a dozen Anvus, Guy had caught Neji as Neji was screaming. Snazzy was immediately kneeling over him. Tenten was crying and screaming his name, but Guy was holding on to her. Give the Hokage in the other medic's room. "He's alive but in critical condition, get him to the emergency room now," she said. The medic team placed him on stretcher and went off in a heartbeat. Meanwhile, the sand retreated and was surrounding Gaara, who seemed calm again. As Kakashi leaned towards Naruto's ear, "Let the Hokage and the Anvu handle it. Hinata need you right now." As Naruto looked down, she was staring at the scene below and crying. "Alright," he said, as Kakashi released him. He nicked his hand and placed his sword in the scabbard without bothering to clean it. As he took a hold of Hinata and held her to him, so she wasn't bothering looking down. "Hinata-chan," he said. She buried her head into his shoulder. "Why?" she said as she was crying. As Naruto looked down at Gaara. "Because that guy is a psychopath. No rational person would have done that here." But he never said it out loud. He was thinking them. Time skip. One looked at the body. It was bad. The arms, the legs, the ribs. The internal damage was bad. Much of his blood has been lost and he will need a transfusion to survive surgery. She looked at the blood in her hands. Horrible memories flashed in her mind as she felt a bit queasy. But she shook her head. She couldn't let it bother her. She would have to be the one to save his life. She would leave everything to Hayate and go to the proceeding room. But first, she looked at the one who did this. Gaara was standing there with the arm crossed, looking unconcerned, almost bored. He was surrounded by a very anxious dozen Anvus, with their blades weapon drawn. And also Asuma was there along with Hayate. Guy and his team were gone. They all followed the medics. Snazzy grind her teeth. She hated pointless deaths. The deaths that happened in the second phase were horrible enough, but this. "Why did you try to kill Neji?" she said. "Hayate, declare you the winner. Why did you feel the need to almost murder him?" "I did, because I felt like it," said Gaara. She could see everyone of her ninjas stiffen at that. As Hayate snarled, Asuma clenched his fist. All she would have to do is give the word and they would attack the boy gladly. "Hokage-san." The boy sensei approached her very carefully, as he immediately fell to one knee. His two students follow his example. "I beg forgiveness for my student's action. He has always been one of strong temper and bloodlust. I assure you, he and his father, the Kazekage, shall offer a sincerest apology, and will gladly offer restitution for this act. I know who his father is," and I snap. "And don't insult me by suggesting you can buy us off. This was not an accident and this was not a mistake. This was a deliberate act." "If that's how you feel," said Gaara, "then just go ahead and attack me. I'll kill you all," he said. Naruto looked down hearing those words as his eyes flashed red. Who the hell did this boy think he is? Crazy or not, was he threatening his godmother and everyone else in here? "Gaara, in the name of the Kazekage, be silent," said Baki. As Gaara sent his sensei a serious look, but he did not say anything else. "Hokage-san, I understand that your anger must be great, as is our sorrow for what has been done. But you cannot punish him for almost killing during the exams. Loss of life is a part of the exams, and all of the participants are made aware of that fact. Loss of life in these exams, this course, is a tragedy. But this is something else entirely." Snazzy said. She took a deep, shallowing breath. "Your student deserves to be executed on the spot, or at the very least, arrested for what he has done. But that would violate the agreements made by all the village who participate in the exams. But for this callous act in the exam, I disqualify him from these exams," she said. "Hokage-san, you cannot do that. The Kazekage, to hell with the Kazekage!" Snazzy shouted at him. "You can tell your Kazekage that his son is not a ninja, he's an animal." Baki looked at her. Such words were enough to start wars. "You may also tell him that he's no longer welcome here, and that specifically include the upcoming finals." "You are barring the Kazekage from entering Konoha," Baki asked, as he was shocked, stunned. "That's right. And be very glad that I hate war. Or I would severely be tempted to start one. As it is, we will not make war on you or end our treaty obligations. But neither will we permit him to enter his village as a friend." As she looked at Temari, "As Temari has earned her place in the finals, I will not deny her that. And you as her sensei may accompany her. But I want Gaara to leave immediately." "That's a severe insult," Baki pointed out. "So he's trying to murder one of my people in front of me. And just so you know, he's banned from this village under penalty of death. Should he ever step foot in Konoha again, he'll be killed on sight. Now I'll give him 1 hour to leave the village. I suggest you help him get back." Now, if you excuse me, I'm needing surgery. With no real choice, Baki bowed his head and led Gaara and the others out. Though no one really wanted it, there were still 2 more preliminaries to be fought. Before that to happen, the blood had to be cleaned up, as Guy and the others camped out in front of the emergency room, as Naruto and Hinata joined them. Once the others were ready again, the final 2 matches took place. Ino defeated Kin, while Shikamaru defeated Sakura with his shadow. As Hayate drew the name for the final matches out of a hat, it will be Naruto vs Lee, Shikamaru vs Temari, Kiba vs Tenten, and Hinata vs Ino. But for the time being, most people had other things on their mind. Time skip, a few miles out of Konoha. As Baki signaled for a halt, Temari was left in the village to continue training. He felt like it was his duty to escort Kankuro and Gaara back and report to the Kazekage. Baki looked at Gaara as he kept his anger in check, knowing who Gaara was. He was one of the very few people that Gaara had never threatened to kill, but that didn't mean that he could say anything. Gaara, do you have any idea what you have done? You have put years of careful preparation to complete chaos. The plan has been ruined. Now the Kazekage must decide whether to come with a new plan or abandon this one. And that is saying nothing of the fact that Leaf Ninjas will be more alert even now. So what, Gaara said. I have never cared what the Kazekage wanted. Whether we go to war or not, it's all the same to me. Let's go, he said, as he leapt away. Baki just swallowed. Because what could he really do? Not even Kazekage could really make Gaara do what he wanted. What a mess. Time skip. Sasuke lay in the hospital bed, as he was staring up at the ceiling. There were already a number of flowers. His mother, his uncle, his cousin Gabriella, a bunch of others came to see him. They had all assured him, except for Gabriella, that losing in the preliminaries prior to the final round was still excellent for Hokage, as his uncle seemed to have no doubt that he will make true next time. His uncle was proud of him, but Sasuke was furious. He entered the exam confident enough that he would show everyone his power. Instead, he had his weakness rubbing to his face. Lee beat him before the exam could even start. Those who caught him by surprise, and he was in trouble until Lee came to his rescue. And then, that girl from the sign crushed him in one move. All these defeats could only lead to one thing: he was weak. How can I save this village? How can I avenge my father when I'm so weak? The door to his room opened. Hello, Sasuke. I heard you were here, and I want to give my best wishes. Sasuke frowned, thanked for the flowers, but I don't really feel like company. Sakura had been there for over 2 hours, until a nurse convinced her that he was fine and he would be leaving tomorrow. Oh really? Kabuta said. As he placed down the flowers, I was hoping that we could finish the chat that we were having before. You couldn't even pass the second phase of the exam, Sasuke said. What could you possibly know about acquiring the sort of power that I need? Oh come now, Sasuke, surely you know that appearances can be rather deceptive. He thought about Temari and felt a spark of anger. And I also know something about talk being cheap, Sasuke said. If you really did have a whole way to get a lot of power, you wouldn't be as weak as you are. So you need a demonstration, Kabuta asked. Yeah, if you want me to believe what you're saying, show me something. Alright, Kabuta says you remove his glasses. I don't normally do this, but I'll show you my real face. As Kabuta let his cold blood rise up and show Sasuke what he really was. Sasuke tried to crawl back. What are you? Kabuta ended the transformation as he smirked. Scary, huh? Well, what are you? Said Sasuke. I'm much more than I appear to be. If I really wanted to, I could have gone through this exam without even a scratch. Had I wished it, I could have become a Jonin right now. Then why aren't you? My master want me to remain hidden. Your master? Sasuke said. Yes, he's a one-of-a-kind genius. A ninja of incredible intellect and power. He could give you what you seek. As Kabuta grinned, was literally dropping off his face right now. For a price, of course. You have a master, Sasuke said. Does the Hokage know about this master you serve? No, and if you were to go to her and told her what I've shown you, you would get me in serious trouble. But then you would never acquire the power you crave so badly. Don't try to blackmail me, Sasuke, it's rude and completely unnecessary. I want to help you. As he waved his hand, well, I'm glad we got to talk some more. Wait, you're leaving? That's right, Kabuta said. But what about me acquiring more power? And I want to know who this master of yours is. Oh, we'll talk again, but right now the timing isn't right. Be patient for a bit. All good things for those who wait. And with that, Kabuta left. Sasuke leaned back in the pillow. What Kabuta showed him was surely scary. It was also very interesting. The idea of a master who could give on power was something interesting to know. He knew that it was bound to be a high price what he would pay for any price of power that he can get. Time skip. After 6 hours, the door to the emergency room opened up as a tired Tsunade stepped out. Guy, Tenten, Lee, Hinata, and Naruto all jumped up. Hokage-sama, Tenten said. How is he? He's going to live, she said, a sigh. But he's never going to be a ninja again. What? Guy said. Well, it's not you're the world's best medical expert. Surely, There's a way, guys, then I cut him off. If you think I'm the world top medical expert, then don't you think I know what I'm talking about? Do you think I would say such things lightly? As she took a breath, I'm sorry I snapped at you. The surgery was extremely difficult. The important thing is that he will live. But he will never regain the mobility or stamina. Need to be a ninja. Hokage-sama, I'm sorry, but I don't believe you. I believe if Neji work hard, one day he can recover fully and become a ninja. A great ninja, said Lee. As Tsunade looked at him sadly. Lee, that's a wonderful attitude to have. But I'm afraid there are limits to what the body can do. No matter how strong your will is. Can we see him? Asked Tintin. I'm afraid not right now. He'll be unconscious for some time. I'm having him transferred to Konoha Hospital. You'll be able to visit him there, once he's out of intense care, said Tsunade. Time skip. It was well past midnight before they were able to get back home. As Naruto escorted Hinata home before he'd get back to his. As he was not surprised to find his mom there waiting for him, despite the hour. You heard about Neji, Naruto asked. Kushina nodded. I have received the message and he told me. It's a terrible thing. Naruto nodded. It is. Hinata has a wreck. Just be glad that he at least survived. As Naruto nodded, it started off as a good day, but now this. As he wondered if he's gonna meet Gaara again. He wished that he would. He definitely wanted to meet him again, to make him pay. Time skip. This mission report read like a damn fairy tale. Why are you bound to protect her? It's obvious who's to blame for this, said Tsunade. I agree, said Kushina. But I am the mission leader, and I am alone responsible for the failure of this mission. I accept whatever punishment you deem correct. No, the fault lies with me for giving that girl another chance. Whatever her potential, Gabrielle is a watch out. You seem to lack the strength of a will to be a kunoichi. I should have never forced her on you, it's a shame, but there it is. You can consider the experiment over. You can keep training Haku as your apprentice until a position and team open up somewhere else. Are you breaking your word then? Asked Kushina. Tsunade gave her a sharp look. For ninja, questioning one's honor was a sharp insult. Don't give me that crap, Kushina. I made a mistake and now I'm going to fix it. Why are you trying to protect her? Because I'm her sensei, I owe her my protection and guidance. I accept this assignment, knowing that it will last 6 months. It has only been 3 weeks. Do you honestly want her for a full 6 months, Kushina? You are her third sensei since she left the academy. The other two couldn't reach her. What makes you think you can? Kushina glanced at the wall at the clock. It was a little before 11:30 in the morning. You said she didn't have the strength of will to be a kunoichi. Let me test that. Give me till tomorrow at noon to tell you if I want to keep her for the full 6 months. Tsunade frowned. Why are you so stubborn about this? It's not your fault that she's a poor ninja. Kushina answered in a quiet voice. Minato used to say there weren't any poor ninjas. Only poor ninjas. Captains. I owe it to her to try my very best to help her. Fine then, do your test and come see me tomorrow. Meanwhile, outside the Hokage's office, the two other members of Team Kushina waited. Gabriella sat uncomfortably in the wooden chair. This could really be it, huh? How could I be so stupid, she thought. Are you alright, Gabriella? Asked Haku, as he was sitting next to her. No, I'm really not, she said with a sigh. You know it's probably gonna be goodbye, kid. What do you mean? Asked Haku. I mean I screwed up really bad. I doubt I'll be on a team with you this time. Hell, I'll be lucky if I'm still ninja by the end of the day. It was a failed mission, Haku said. But was it truly so terrible? No one died. The doors opened up. Not yet, Gabriella muttered under her breath. Kushina came out of the office as her face was blank. As Gabriella and Haku got to their feet, Gabriella could not read her at all. She found a hell of a lot scarier than seeing her angry. Haku, you're dismissed for a day. Gabriella, come with me. Kushina-sama, what are you gonna do with Gabriella? She's gonna punish me for being a screw-up, said Gabriella quietly. I'm going to introduce her to our old custom from the Whirlpool country. Kushina said quietly. Huh? Said Gabriella. May I come with you? Asked Haku. Kushina shook her head. I don't think Gabriella would want you to see this, but I want to support her in her hour of need. He turned to Gabriella. Do you want me to come along? He asked. She looked at him. Then she chuckled. Sure, why not? Everyone else gets to see what a mess I am. Why shouldn't you get to enjoy the show as well? Kushina frowned a bit, as she honestly wondered if Tsunade was right. She led them outside to the training grounds as they walked in silence, as Gabriella wondered what her punishment was. That this was a punishment she had no doubt. She deserved to be punished. Why do I always screw up, she thought. Kushina brought them out to training ground 39. It was one of the least used training grounds, and one of the furthest in the village walls. She took them to the clearing. As it was summer, the sun was beating down hot. As Kushina nodded to herself before turning to Gabriella. Do you know why we were summoned to Hokage's office? Gabriella looked down. We failed the mission. Look at me when you address me. What was our mission? Gabriella sighed. Lord, Kazumori has brought his prize stallion with him to the village to enter in some of the races. We were to provide security and make sure the horses are safe. That's right, a simple and straightforward C rank. What were my instructions to you? Gabriella swallowed. I was to stay in the barn and watch the horse for 8 hours until I was relieved. If anything suspicious happened, I was to contact you immediately by radio. Were my instructions clear? Yes, said Gabriella. At the time you received them, do you feel they were beyond your ability to carry out? No, Gabriella said. As her face was then grabbed the chin, before it was brought up, so her eyes met with Kushina's. As Kushina leaned in, her eyes were very angry. Eyes on me, said Kushina. Did you carry out my orders? No, Gabriella said. And why not? I was bored and I want to watch some of the races, she said. You were bored and want to watch some of the races. It sounded even more pathetic when Kushina said it. You disobeyed a direct order because you were bored. She let go of Gabriella's chin. In a ninja world, those who violate the rules and fail to follow orders are lower than garbage. Gabriella flinched at the hard words. As Kushina glanced at Haku, while it is true that you are not Mindless Jones, and there are times that orders need to be broken, you must do it for better reason than boredom. You desert your post for no better reason than that. How long were you away watching the races? About 15 minutes. And what did you saw when you came back to your post? Gabriella said nothing as she hesitated. I asked you a question, Janine, said Kushina loudly. The horse was dead, Gabriella said in a soft voice. I'm sorry? What was that, said Kushina. The horse was dead, said Gabriella, in her normal voice. The horse was dead, Kushina said flatly. That horse was a lord, pride and joy. One of a kind. Lord Kazumori is a wealthy and important man. Every year he spends millions on ninjas for all sorts of missions. And he just recently informed the Hokage that he will never ever again hire a leaf ninja. Because you disobey my orders and abandon your post, this village has suffered a huge financial loss. Kushina let the words hang in the air and glared at Gabriella. The silence stretched until Gabriella couldn't stand it. Am I being stripped of shinobi status? For her, that was a face even more worse than death. That was the Hokage intentions. I managed to dissuade her. For right now at least. Gabriella was surprised. You stood up for me for the Hokage? I'm your sensei, even when I'm upset with you. I owe you all the help I can give you. Thank you, sensei, said Gabriella. She thought that Kushina would be screaming for her head and blaming everything on her. Kushina locked eyes with her. Why do you want to be a ninja? Kushina no longer sounded angry. Whenever someone suggests you give up being shinobi, you always dig in your heels. Yet you refuse to give your best effort. Are you a ninja just to spite your family? No, I want to be a ninja to earn my family respect. I want my father and everyone else to be proud of me. Gabriella said with real passion. Then why do you give such a poor effort? Kushina sounded truly frustrated. When you told me you want to be a ninja, I believe you. But you have to work hard to make that dream come true. My son dreams of becoming Hokage. A ninja, Rock Lee, wants to become a great ninja, despite not being able to use chakra. Both of them strive every single day and work hard to make their dreams come true. Why don't you? Can you explain to me, Gabriella? Can you make me understand? I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm such a screw up. Kushina pulled her blade out as Gabriella flinched. Well, sensei, what is that for? Do you have any water or food on you? What? Do you have any water or food in your possession right now? I have my canteen with me, no food though. Toss me your canteen. Not sure what's going on, Gabriella unhooked it from her belt and threw it towards Kushina. Kushina put her katana into the soft soil as she walked around Gabriella. Do you know what a ninja is, Gabriella? She watches her sensei walk around her, dragging her sword in the ground. Someone able to perform jutsus? No, said Kushina. She continued to walk. Someone who's well trained in killing? No. Killing is merely something we do, but not who we are. As Kushina finished drawing a circle around Gabriella with her blade, as she wiped dirt from her blade, a ninja is one who endures. No matter what, one who endures everything and defy odds. No matter what, even in the face of death and loss, a ninja would endure and go on. For he or she should have the spirit and guts to never give up. Do you have that inside of you, Gabriella? Because if you do not, there's no point in you continuing this. As she performed 3 handstands and placed her finger into the circle, there's a small golden flash and a light seemed to run into the earth. Seal. What was that, sensei? Asked Gabriella. I'm going to test your endurance. This is an old tradition from my homeland. It was a part of the academy graduation test. Whirlpool was a small and poor land we didn't have resources to waste. Every ninja had to prove that they were committed before they were granted a headband. I'm giving you a test to see if you're really committed to be a ninja. What sort of test, said Gabriella. It's simple. You must remain in that circle for the next 24 hours. No food, no water, no leaving the circle. If you leave that circle before 11:44 tomorrow, you are done as a ninja. But Kushina-sama, surprised it was Haku who said something. It's the middle of summer. You're not going to give her any water? No, the thirst and hunger are part of the test. As she placed the canteen right in front of Gabriella about 15 feet away. She may grow extremely hungry and thirsty, but she will not die in just one day. I will stand up for you and fight for you, but you have to show me that you truly want this. Gabriella nodded. I understand, Kushina-sensei. But Kushina-sama, Haku, please don't argue with her on my behalf. I'll accept my punishment without complaint. Kushina shook her head. This is not your punishment. This is a test of your commitment. Of course, sensei, said Gabriella. Time skip. 20 minutes went by. It has just been 20 minutes since she was left alone. She was already sweating. She was already getting thirsty. She looked over to her canteen. She took off her jacket and sat down. What an unbelievable, miserable day. Time skip. 3 hours went by. As she was sweating and she was thirsty, she decided to play a game in her mind. This was one of her worst days in her life. She would think of a couple others. As she remembered, flashback, she was waiting in her father's study. Her father did this to remind her that she was not really important. He would come when he was ready. The door opened and he entered, as he gave one of his cold looks, which she knew so well. He wasn't a screamer or shouter. When he was upset, he would just withdraw from her. Dear sensei, I've asked you to be removed from your squad. This is the second time, Gabriella. I know, father, she said, quietly. You are a disgrace to the entire clan and to me. His words were quick and without feelings. She wasn't even worth getting angry about. I intend to inform the Hokage that I and the clan wash our hands of you. Whether or not you're ever placed on another team, it will be up to her. And just like that, he started to go over the papers on the decks. She was dismissed. I did my best, she said quietly. You always say that. As he did not bother to look up from his papers. Leave now. I have more important things to deal with. She left his studies. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. I don't care what he thinks. No matter what he thinks. As she went on her bed and started to cry. End of flashback. And then there was the student exams. Flashback. So you and your team had failed to get past second part of this. Even worse, you attack one of your teammates and your sensei is thinking of removing you from the squad. Sensei wouldn't do that, she said in shock. Actually, he would. He's tired of dealing with your insubordination. And attacking your teammate is the final straw. It's his fault that we failed. We had to ambush them and he gave our position away. So, her father said. Weaker teammates are facts of life. They rely on the Uchiha strength to pull them through. If you were stronger, this mistake wouldn't have mattered. As he shook his head, I will see to it that you're placed on another team. I have decided I will no longer train with you. What? Dad, are you giving up on me? She asked. Gabriella, my time is too valuable to simply waste. Helping me is a waste? She said, her voice breaking. Trying to help you achieve what will never happen is a waste, of course. You will be 14 soon. It's time to accept that you will likely never achieve the Sharingan. People have been older and gotten it. Yuna was 17 when he got his. That is true, her father said. But while it remained possible, it becomes more and more unlikely with every passing day. In any case, I've given you extra training for a year now, and it has achieved nothing. But father, I always try my best on my missions and training with you. You give your best, and what do your best have to show for it? She clenched her fist in frustration. I work and train until I drop. Doesn't it make a difference how hard I work? No, results are all that matter. You may go now. You will not be meeting with your old team again. I will inform you when you are being placed on a new squad. She left the study feeling bitter and angry that both her sensei and her father had given up on her. Damn it, she was the first to admit that she was a genius like her cousin Itachi. But she tried her best. She worked her ass off. I know her father told her it didn't matter what she did. Why should I even goddamn bother then, she said. I'm a failure no matter what. End of flashback. Gabriella. She slowly opened her eyes. She saw the sun had gone down. As she was trying to sleep, Haku was in front of her, holding out a small container. Kid, what are you doing? She wasn't sure what she thought of Haku. She did dislike him. He was too nice for that. But he was too much Kushina's lapdog to think much of him. He was always going on with that Kushina-sama thing, and always eager to make her happy. I bought you some ice cream. It's a pint of chocolate. That's your favorite, isn't it? What are you doing? Trying to get me kicked off? No, I knew that you would be miserable, and I want to make you feel better. She looked at him and she looked at the ice cream. Her throat was parched. You were here when she started this. She said no food, and no water, no drinks. And no leaving a circle. I recognize the seal that she used to Haku. It's only tripped if I leave in being crossed over it. I can toss the ice cream, you can eat it, and then you can toss it by the carton and I will dispose of it. Kid, I never knew you had such a devious mind. I like it. Strategy. Nah, I'm not taking it, but thanks. I'll do Sensei punishment, and besides, I think that she might know somehow. A distance away in the trees, Kushina was watching everything. She was surprised that Haku showed up, and surprised to see what he brought with him. She was glad that Gabriella refused it, because she would have failed her right on the spot. Back with Gabriella, why are you even here? I mean, you love following the rules and making your Kushina-sama happy. Where does this sudden outlaw streak came from? You're my teammate and I care about you. I know what it's like to be miserable, hungry and thirsty, and I want to help. The words are very kind and very unexpected. Thank you, but you shouldn't worry about me. I'm a screw up and a failure. I always let everyone down. I am not someone you should worry about. I think everyone deserves to have someone who cares about them. I know what it's like to be alone and have no one at all. To live knowing that no one will care or even notice if you died. To be all alone and unwanted is a horrible thing, Haku said. He spoke so sadly that she couldn't help but feel for him. What kind of life did you have, kid? She said. He shook his head. That does not matter. You said that I should worry about you because you are a failure. Do you see yourself as a person or a tool? What? Do you see yourself as a person or a tool? As a person, obviously. Why would someone see themselves as a tool? Until I met Naruto. That is how I saw myself, Haku said. My father taught me that all ninjas are tools to be used by others. Your father taught you that? Jeez. He must have been a real monster. His features darkened. Do not speak of Zabuza-sama that way. He rescued me from loneliness. He gave me a purpose and a reason to live. He was my precious person and I loved him. She held out her hand in a defense. Wait, I'm sorry. I apologize, he said. I didn't mean to judge. Given what I reckon my life is, I'm in no position to judge. He relaxed. It's alright. Wait a second. Your father's name was Zabuza? The Zabuza who's a missing in from Miss Village? That's right. My name is Mamakai Haku. My adopted father was Mamakai Zabuza. I lived and fought at his side until he was killed by Naruto and his squad. She was surprised. I thought he was living in a bingo book missing name. Blew her mind. As she thought he was raised in Konoha. Haku, what kind of life did you had? My life is a sad tale and I do not think you'd enjoy hearing about it. Actually, I really think I would, if you don't mind telling me. As he didn't really feel like reliving those. He had told his life story only twice, to Kushina and Naruto. But he would do it for his teammate. Okay, he said. I was born in a land of water. As he told her everything, as she sat there and listened to everything. He was such a polite and likable kid, and seemed so well adjusted. But after hearing the thing that he went through. So after that I came in and was taken in by Naruto and Kushina-sama. They are my precious people and I would die to protect either of them. I have also started to make friends with Kiba and Hinata and Kakashi. I would like to consider you to be my friend as well. She smiled. I would like that. And she chuckled a bit. That is if you want to screw up like me as a friend. Why do you keep referring to yourself that way? Because it's true, I'm a failure. Let me tell you about myself, she said. Meanwhile, Kushina's ears picked up. This might prove promising. As she told Haku everything about her life growing up. And how her father sees her as a big disappointment because she never awakened her eyes. And the more time go on, the more time it doesn't seem like she would awaken them. And also she figured if she was going to fail anyway, why bother? That is why she did so much things to screw up everything. That is why she left her post, because she was bored. Because she thought she was going to fail eventually. So why even try? You must think I'm a big loser, huh? Said Gabriella. When I was defeated by Naruto, I was ashamed of my weakness. When he invited me to join him here, I told him I was a weak tool. And that he would not get any use from me. He told me he did not want a tool, but a friend. It seemed to me that you have the same problem as I did. The only difference is my goal was to be an effective tool. You wish to be a great ninja. And just because you haven't unlocked those eyes, you think you cannot obtain this goal. Knowing Naruto and Kushina-sama and the others, it has taught me a lot. One of the most is that you don't have to be the strongest and valuable to be important to others, for them to care about you. I am no match for Naruto or Kushina-sama or Kakashi. But that knowledge does not bother me. I am the best ninja I can be and that's enough. What if it's not enough, said Gabriella. I cannot speak for a clan, but I know. For Kushina-sama that will be enough. Gabriella sighed and she looked up at the sky. She then laughed. The sun was gone down. Haku, you kept me talking for 3 hours as she looked at her watch. Oh, I apologize. I did not mean to take up so much of your time. You silly boy. Thank you, she said. You made the time fly by and I appreciate it a lot. I just wish you could stay here with me until the end of my punishment. Well then, if you wish me to stay, I would stay. No, you done plenty already. Would my staying help you, Haku asked. Well, yes it would. Very well then, I will leave to get permission from Kushina-sama and acquire my sleeping bag. Would it be against the rule for me to bring you some blankets? Probably, but I have my jacket and it doesn't really get cold at night in summer. But why? Why are you going so far out of your way for me? Kushina spoke part of the code to you earlier. In a ninja war, those who violate the rules are scum. But those who don't help their teammate and support them are even lower than that. Lower than garbage. We are comrades and friends now. I will do whatever I can to support you. I'll be back soon, I promise, he said as he left. Kushina had to race home in order to meet Haku back. She heard everything the both of them said and she had a better understanding of Gabriella. Technically, Haku should not have been there. Part of the test involved dealing with the hardship alone. But Kushina felt like Gabriella had already had plenty of experience with that. So it'd be a good help to let her bond with her teammate. Kushina-sama. Yes, Haku? As he bowed her and got a serious look on his face. I have been talking to Gabriella for the last few hours. I would like permission to go and stay with her until her punishment is complete. I see. So long as you don't give her any food or cross the circle. I have no objection. Gabriella was surprised and pleased when Haku returned. People was always breaking their promise to her. So that is why it was so reassuring to her. As he also brought a small shogi set. As he taught her how to play. For someone a couple years younger than she was, he had a lot of life experience. As it got near midnight, they both got some sleep. She put her jacket back on and lay down in dirt. She was hungry, tired and thirsty. But at least she was not alone. As she dreamed, it was her 6th birthday party. Her favorite cousin Sasuke was there, as he was smiling and happy. As her older cousin Itachi was there as well. He graduated the academy. He was a real ninja now. As her uncle Fukaku and her aunt Mikoto was there as well. It was a wonderful time. Her cousin Itachi gave her one of his 2 rare smiles. Happy birthday, Gabriella. Thank you, Itachi, she said. Are you really ninja like daddy, she asked. Yes, I'm what they call a genius and needed less time than most, he said. You don't seem happy. He reached on and rubbed her head. Happiness has nothing to do with being a ninja. As he walked off, she felt a bit sad. Is something wrong, honey? As her dad came over. She held her arms out to him. Daddy, pick me up, she said. As he smiled, he picked her up. She never knew her mom. Her mom was a ninja and died before she turned 1. Her dad was everything to her, warm and kind. He always made time for her and he always said she was more important to him than anything. Are you having a good birthday, honey? Yes, Dad. Would I be a ninja someday like Itachi or you? Of course, honey. You are Uchi and my daughter. You get your Sharingan and be a great ninja one day. Daddy, what will happen if I never got my Sharingan, she asked. He gave her a kiss. Oh, honey. You will definitely gain your Sharingan. And even if you did not, I know that you will still be a great ninja. The most important thing is that you do your best. As long as you do that, I'll always be proud of you. As she placed her arms around his neck and hugged him. I'll always do my best, Dad. I want you to be proud of me. As her father held her as he laughed. She was loved and she was happy. She opened her eyes. The sky was getting light. She checked her watch. It was 6 o'clock. She just lay there. Haku was still asleep and there was no reason to wake him. The day was hot later down. As she played shogi with Haku. As she tried not to think about it. As her tongue felt like sandpaper. Haku truly was a very kind boy. Nothing like the other teammates that she had. Who just discarded her the moment she got kicked off the team. Haku, do you want me to be your teammate? She said. As he looked up. Of course, he said. We're friends now. And I wouldn't abandon a friend. As he saw a tear leak from her eye. Did I say something wrong? No, you said something very right. It's funny. I don't have a job of spit in my mouth. But I managed to make tears. Funny, huh? No, I don't think tears are ever funny, he said. She smiled his concern and wiped away the tears. It's okay, Haku. As she glanced at her watch. Just about 2 hours left to go. Time skip. Kushina arrived holding a bento and a thermos. As she crossed into the circle, Gabriella checked her watch. It's only 11:38. I still have 6 minutes. It's enough. You've proven yourself to me. Gabriella didn't want to argue. She unsealed the thermos and brought it to her mouth. It wasn't water, it was sweet tea and it was ice cold. It hurt her throat a bit, but she didn't care. She was so thirsty. As she emptied and looked at Kushina. Thank you. It's alright, I have a couple canteens water. And this is yours as well. As she gave her the bento, Gabriella asked something before she ate. Kushina-sama, can I ask you something? Kushina nodded. If I never get my Sharingan, but I did my best, would that be enough for you? Kushina kneeled down and placed her hand on Gabriella's shoulders. Of course it would. All I ever ask from you is that you give me your full effort. You can be a fine ninja without a Keki Genkai. My husband was considered the greatest ninja this village has ever produced. And he never felt the lack. Be the best ninja you can be. And I promise I'll be very proud of you. Gabriella nodded. Kushina-sensei, I know that I have screwed up terribly. And I know I don't deserve it, but I beg you, please, give me one more chance. She pulled a kunai and cut her left palm open. I swear, on my own blood, if you give me another chance, I will give you my best at all times. I won't make any more of those stupid mistakes, and I'll be a good ninja and a good teammate. Kushina started to perform a medical ninjutsu. My dear, you don't even need to ask. You've earned a second chance. I'll make you a promise. I'll do everything in my power to make you a better ninja. And I will never hold against you that you lack the Sharingan. Gabriela nodded and believed that Kushina would keep her promise. Time skip. So what's the verdict? Asked Tsunade. She's staying, said Kushina. Tsunade knew it was a mistake but would argue. You'll be sorry. Nah, I don't think I will. Time skip. The month passed really quickly as the Konoha hotels were filled with people coming to watch the exam. There were strange faces and odd accents. In lands far away from Konoha, preparations also went ahead. I thank you for your hospitality, Kazekage-sama. He sipped the wine. You're most welcome, Son Kage. The Kazekage sipped the wine as well. It is good for allies to sit and share a meal before the start of a great war. Yes, it is. I am most pleased to know that your doubts about our venture has vanished. The Kazekage nodded. Yes, I was prey to some doubts. After all, to be seated next to a Sani while my forces invade our village was a bit worrying. But what has now occurred is a blessing. With Gaara's full actions, I shall be at the head of my army as it attacked the village. A bit of a wild one, is he not? Orochimaru said. Your son. He has my blood, but he's not my son. He's but a beast, if that in nothing else. Tsunade was correct. Oh dear, such hatred and loathing I hear in your voice as you speak about him. It makes me wonder why didn't you have him killed a long time ago? The Kazekage frowned but said nothing. In any case, I'm truly pleased you did not back out of our arrangement. Orochimaru laughed lightly. Otherwise, I would have to kill you and take your place. I do not find it amusing, Kazekage said. My apologies, my humors is often misunderstood. In any case, Kazekage said, let's have a toast. To the humblings of Leaf Ninjas and their insufferable pride, Orochimaru lifted his own cup. To the utter destruction of Konoha, as they clinked their cups and drank, sealing the bargain. Meanwhile, you and your squad will be going on a mission to Tea Country. It is expected to last a week, Aruka said. I see, said Kurenai, as she looked down at the mission file. It doesn't look that difficult. No, it was from our local lord, but for some odd reason your team was specifically requested. That's a bit odd, said Kurenai. Especially considering I never heard of his lord before. Still, a mission's a mission, said Kurenai. But Kurenai-sensei, Sakura said, we're going to miss the finals of Chunin exam. I had 2 tickets and I was hoping to go with Sasuke-kun. Sakura, we can't refuse a mission just because the timing is inconvenient, said Sasuke. But Sasuke is correct, said Shino. This mission has priority over personal reasons. Sakura simply nodded and hung her head. Kurenai was pleased as things were settled, without her intervening. Time skip. His mom, Kakashi, Tsunade, and Jiraiya were sitting with him in the office. He felt like he was having a talk with Ibiki. So, how many times have you been able to summon the red chakra, Jiraiya said. Whenever I get angry. I get extra chakra when I get angry, but the red chakra, it only appeared twice. The first time when I was attacked by those Jonins in the academy, and the other time was in Wave Country. Are you able to summon it whenever you like, asked Jiraiya. No, it only comes when I'm really angry. And as soon as I stop feeling angry, it goes. Any after effect when it leaves you. Yeah, the more of it I use, the weaker I feel when it goes. I see, said Jiraiya seriously. Kakashi mentioned arms that came from the red chakra that attack and kill your enemies. How exactly does that work? I don't know, said Naruto. When I have the red chakra, I feel like a part of me, like a second skin. I just think of what I want and it does it. Kakashi said that you made 6 at once. Do you think you could have done more? I could have made 10, said Naruto. 10, not 8, not 12, 10. As Naruto nodded, you seem very certain of that number. Well, I know that's my limit for making arms. Did you make that many the first time? Nope, the first time I had no idea I could do it. I just made one on instinct. So you never made more than 6 then? Nope, said Naruto. Then how do you know you can make 10 and not 11? Well, I don't know, I just do. Jiraiya shared a look with the others before nodding to himself. Kakashi felt a strong evil taint from the chakra. It was easy to tell that it was demonic. When you gain the red chakra, do you sense that? No, I don't feel evil. I feel powerful and all my senses are heightened and I'm fast like lightning. But after a while I start to feel... As he stopped. What, said Jiraiya? My body started to ache. It's like if I keep the red chakra too long, my body starts to get used up. Do you feel pain? Tsunade asked. No, not pain. It's like I can tell my body is reaching its limits. Alright Naruto, I want you to relax for a bit while I examine you. As Jiraiya cast a jutsu and placed hand over Naruto's seal. After 10 minutes, he removed his hand. Well, said Kushina, nervously, the seal is still in place, but it has weakened a bit to make Naruto access more of the Kyuubi chakra. Is there any chance of it failing? Asked Tsunade. No, though in a few years it may need to be recast. I could add a layer to what's there now. That would prevent any of the demonic chakra from leaking through. I think that would be a good idea, said Tsunade. No, Naruto said flatly, as he started to rebutton his shirt. The other people in the room looked at him in surprise. Naruto, I don't think you truly understand how dangerous this red chakra is to you, said Snatty. Godmother, I understand this is dangerous to me. But do you understand without it I would be dead now, he said. That had them looking at one another. The first time, and I've definitely died without it. The second time I would have been defeated and probably died without it as well. If I were to go up against someone like Gaara or a really powerful Jonin, my only hope would have been the red chakra. I can't risk losing such a powerful asset. Jiraiya frowned, he has a point. That red chakra of his is one ace in the hole. Snatty frowned, it is, but the danger it represents. If there were any danger of me losing control to the Kyuubi, then I would be the first to ask for it to be resealed. But when I use the red chakra, it's me that's in control. Me, but a very angry me. Snatty sighed, very well. For the time being we will leave it as it is. But, Jiraiya will be examining your seal every year, and if there is any danger, it will be resealed. As Naruto nodded, time skip, Naruto was on a bench in the courtyard, at the Hokage compound leaning. As he was looking at the sunset, his crutches were beside him. The Hokage had assured him that he'll be able to walk in time with a slight limp, and he'll be able to have a normal life. He chuckled, yes, I could be a fine carpenter or a mechanic. He shook his head at the irony of it all. He has always known how cruel fate could be. He was born to the cadet, version of the Hyuga. His father murdered to save his uncle, and he had the curse mark placed on him. Yet, despite that, he tried to prove, even if he was in the cadet branch, that he was the most powerful of the Hyuga. He had dreamed of defying his fate. And fate, it had punished him in the cruelest way possible. I was given enough time to glimpse what a great shinobi I might have been, and then it all was taken away from me in an instant. It seemed my birth was no mistake, I was never meant to be great. As he saw a couple birds flying free in the sky, as he looked away. Time skip. Hey you! Shikamaru turned his head. Who, me? Do you see anyone else on this hill? As he looked over, she's kind of hot, but I bet she's really troublesome. She was blonde, and the blondes he knew, Ino, Naruto, Snatty. They were all loud, energetic, and troublesome. You're the San Kunoichi, Temami, right? It's Temari, and you're my upcoming opponent, Shikamaru. Yes, what can I do for you? I had to leave before your match, so I don't know your abilities. I used shadow possession jutsu to take control of my opponent's body. Anything else? She looked at him. What do you think, I'm an idiot? You expect me to believe because you just say so. He sighed as he went through hand sign. Shadow possession technique, he said. His shadow stretched out and before she realized it, she was caught. There, believe me now? I don't believe this, I can't move. As he took her with no effort, well, she didn't came here to fight. But, to be surprised at this. Fine, you convinced me, you can let me go now. He smirked, he knew that he would regret it, but for some reason he wanted to play with her for just a little bit. As he lied down in the grass. Since you come all this way, why don't you join me for a little while? Hey, what do you think you're doing? She panicked because she was helpless, and he had her lying down in the grass. Listen, you perv, do you try anything? I'll beat you to death with my fan. Relax, all I want you to do is watch clouds with me for a few minutes, and I'll let you go. Watch clouds? What kind of brainless idiot would do that? And what is wrong with watching clouds? They have a far better existence than we do. You're actually serious. You spend your time watching clouds? Yeah. You're not training or working on any jutsu. Nah, too troublesome. Anyway, should you be glad that I'm not doing any of those stuff? I'm just wondering what kind of shinobi would spend his time watching clouds. A lazy one. She laughed as he looked up, and she did as well. What? Oh, I just thought you have a nice laugh, he said. Listen, you idiot, if you think flirting with me will get me to take it easy on you in our match, you can forget it. I'm not flirting with you, and I don't really care if I win the matches or not. You don't care about winning? No. Tell me something, how does a lazy and unmotivated ninja like you got to the finals? Huh, no idea, it's a mystery. She laughed again. She does have a nice laugh, unlike Ino. Anybody ever tell you should train a lot harder? Only my mom, my teacher, Naruto, Hinata, Kiba, Kushina, my sensei, and my other teammates, and a few others. Well, they're right, she said. And you can add my name to that list. He chuckled. Alright, I've tortured you long enough. As he ended his jutsu, you're free now. He expected her to stomp off, but she stayed where she was. I said you were free. I heard you, she said. The truth is, I'm on my own. My teammates and sensei left after the preliminaries and no one has come back. I've done nothing but train for the last 3 weeks and I'm bored. I'm so bored I found looking at clouds entertaining. And I still have another week to go. Besides, you're not annoying as most guys. Gee, thanks, he said, as she laughed again. He turned towards her. She'll probably say no, but what the hell? Do you know how to play shogi? Yes, my sensei taught me, she said. Want to have dinner with me and my family? Afterwards you can play. She looked at him in surprise. You're actually inviting me to have dinner with your family. Why not? Do you want to come? He's kind of cute in a dorky sort of way. He doesn't compare to that Naruto though. Still. But you have to realize two things. First, you have no chance with me. And if you try anything, I'll snap you in half, okay? He raised an eyebrow. Does that mean you're not going to scrub my back? As she saw the amused look on his face. As she shook her head. And this doesn't mean I'm going to be easy on you in our match, she said. Even if I meet your family. Well, you should know. First of all, I don't take it easy on my opponents in Shoge. And what sort of thing, she said. You'll be meeting my mother, and she's the scariest woman in the world. She laughed, but he was dead serious. He warned her. Time skip. As Kushina had liked the way Gabrielle had changed. As she no longer called Haku kid, the both of them were working as well. As missions went smoothly. Alright, good work, she said as she just finished a training session with them. The finals are going to be in the next 2 days. I'm giving you guys the next 2 days off. Gabriella, do you have plans to attend the finals? No, sensei. I don't really like sitting with my clan in their section. Well, it seems the Hokage has invited me to sit with her in her private box. So I won't need my ticket. I was going to bring Haku with me so we can cheer on my son and his team. Why don't you and Haku go together? She turned to the boy. Well, I'm game. What do you say, Haku? I would like that very much, he said. Well, that's it then. As she gave Gabrielle the tickets. You two have fun, as she headed off. Time skip. You know you don't have to walk me back to my hotel every night. Which gentleman let a lady walk home by herself? She punched him on the head. Ow. What was that for? To think I can't handle myself, she said. Well, a good night, he said, as he turned to leave. Hey, I had a good time, she said. So did I, he said. Again tomorrow? It's the last night before the exams. She nodded as he waved her and left. She stood there and watched him go. As strange as it was, she liked him. She liked his family too. His father was lazy, just like him but sweet and funny. His mother was indeed scary, but she was loving, protective of her family as well. She liked all of them and it amazed her that they welcomed her even though they knew she was going to fight their son. The Narutos were good people, they weren't the enemy. And yet, they were. As she shook her head and went inside, she felt a twisting feeling in her stomach. The following afternoon, day before the finals. Where have you been, said Temari, as Baki finally returned. I thought you wouldn't even be here for my match. There will be no match, Temari, since Gara is not going to be in the arena. There's no reason for you to be as well. You will leave in 5 minutes. Gara, it's 5 miles from here. The operation is still on, she whispered. She thought it would have been cancelled. It is. Adjustments have been made, but you go forward as planned. Now, let's go back to the hotel. I'll meet you at the hotel in 20 minutes. As she jumped away before he could respond. Time skip. Shikamaru. As he opened his eyes to see Temari coming towards him. Hey Temari, have you come to see me watch clouds? She knelt down beside him. No, I come to bring you some good news. It looks like you're gonna win your match tomorrow. What? You mean you're gonna let me win? In a way, yeah. My government is pulling me out of the exams. What? As he sat up. They let you train here all the time, just let you give out at the last moment? That makes no sense. Well, whether it makes no sense or not, my orders is leave the village immediately. Wait a minute, are you not even coming to dinner tonight? She shook her head. Then this is goodbye, he said. As he suddenly felt a weird empty feeling in his stomach. This is goodbye. I shouldn't even be here right now. But you and your family have been kind, and I thought I owe you at least this. As he looked at her face, he realized he was gonna miss her. When did that happen? He won't know her for a week. When will I see you again? You won't. This is goodbye, she said. As she turned to walk away. I thought you liked me. She stopped. I do like you, Shikamaru. I wouldn't be here if I didn't. We are ninjas from 2 different villages. You knew from the start when the exam is over. I will be going back home. Yeah, I guess. I didn't want to think about that. Well, the future has a way of coming, whether you want it or not. I want you to know something, whatever happens after tomorrow. I like being with you and your family. If you should ever wonder, please, no, it's the truth. As she reached forward and hugged him. Stay safe, you lazy ninja, she said. Oh yeah, she said. As she leaned forward and kissed him, right on the lips. Before leaning back. For luck, she whispered. She got to her feet and leapt away. She heard him call her name, but she did not stop or turn around. The next day, as Naruto hurried over to the Hyuga mansion, after having breakfast with Haku and his mom, as they met Kiba and Kakashi at the bridge. As he arrived, all of them did. As he looked over his girlfriend, this is going to be an amazing day, Hinata-chan, he said. As he had no idea. So yeah guys, I'm me in episode right here. If you want the next part of this or know what to do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification as they posted. Remember to share to all of your friends, your social media platform. But I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace.